Do we know what her current status is? I mean, she intending to come back to work? Have we heard anything?
Have I heard anything?
Yeah, I mean, what's the status?
I am in, I can only speak to the son. I have not spoken to Mrs. Esposito. I speak to Mickey Esposito.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I'm making progress. I mean, I have no control over what an elected official does.
No, I understand that, but people are asking me,
They're asking me all the time
you know,
also.
I just want to
And
bring
I'm
it up.
doing the best I can with
Okay.
the subject, kid.
Okay.
It is what it is. I don't make the laws, and I'm not gonna break them either,
I hope not.
okay? I would like to say one thing, and hopefully everybody would agree with me. I would like to get this meeting on the Time Warner thing within a few days lined up. And if it doesn't, then I would like to bring it back to you and to the board and see how you feel about it. And if anybody wishes to be in the meeting, they're more than welcome. And if we can come to a conclusion at that time and everybody feels comfortable and I feel comfortable with it, then we'll go in that direction. And if I don't, and if we don't, then we'll go back to your plan. I think a few days, Bob, would make everybody, I understand where you're coming from. We need money. And I know that as well as you do. I spend every day with the controller, at least an hour a day, going through where we're gonna get the money or where's the money coming from. So, I know how desperate we are and where the budget's going. And also we need to plan some real strategy in that direction also. So I think, give me a couple days to line up all the people, and I'll do it as fast as I can. Whoever wishes to be there, Nikki or whoever.
Yes, I would like to be there.
So would I.
Yeah,
I appreciate
not
the
a problem. Not a problem. We'll set it up. Hopefully tomorrow. I gotta dig a pool, but I can still use a phone when my son don't holler at me. So, and we'll get it lined up, and we'll speak right after the meeting.
Okay. I just have a couple other things
Yeah.
on your discussion.
I just wanted to finish that.
Okay.
Does that make everybody happy up here?
That's fine, Frank, that's
Is that
fine.
okay with you?
Yes, yes.
Is that okay with you, Bob?
Yeah, just, I'll talk to you after the meeting. I got
Okay.
a little problem.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Sure.
It's okay.
All right.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drag my feet and let it go on for months or anything.
Okay.
I'm a guy that likes to get it done like yesterday.
I mentioned earlier when we were talking about those surceries, I would ask the supervisor to have the assessor put that assessor's change report on the town website. And it should reflect from July 1 of last year to July 1 of this year, and that's the assessment period. So if the residents in this town want to see the adjustments that were made on the tax roll, and the reason I emphasize this report is, yeah, you can come here during the grievance period, but you got 5 books that are about this high. And unless you know exactly what you're looking for, and there's only 300 or 400 changes, so this report basically gives you all the adjustments and changes and assessments for that year. And I found it to be a very good tool, and I know the board got it, and I hope they looked at it, because it is a very good tool. The other thing is, and we didn't talk about it, I talked to the chief the other day, and he asked me about the Grand Union, the police station, they put a little presentation together, or a little video, I believe, and he was wondering if he could come to the next town board meeting and show that to the board. All right, and then it would give the public some idea. I know Wayne worked here for 30 years, so he doesn't have to see the video. But, I mean, I think it'll give not just the board, but the public to see what kind of conditions the police department and the justice court has to work under. And I know we haven't gone anywhere with that decision, but I'm hoping the supervisor allows them to come to the next meeting to give that presentation. The board will have a clear understanding of what we're looking at here. That's all I have, Mr. Supervisor. Thank you.
I have something under discussion items. That's all right. But thanks, Mr. Godlewski, for that thing for the public safety building, because it's definitely needed. And
Good time.
we, believe me, I'm sure that a lot of us really appreciate the effort to go get that done. Listen, I know this has been a long meeting. It should have never been this long probably, but we had a lot of things to iron out, and I don't want to extend it any longer than I have to. But I have to talk about the articles in the paper today that the Gazette wrote regarding supervisors as taxpayers paying for law firms in action. There was, reading this thing, I probably read it 5 times, there were several inaccuracies in this article. And we talk about wanting to get revenue. And I have to say, and the facts are the truth, and I even got the resolutions here to prove it. We passed resolutions back on a special meeting back February 7th. At 7 o'clock, we passed a resolution approved by the majority of the town board to have the supervisor go out and try to recoup and charge for ALS fees that our paramedics are responding to. And we're figuring that we're probably losing approximately $10,000 a month. Now we're into July, and all of a sudden, according to the paper here, certain people are worried about revenue. Well, we were concerned with revenue back then. And when we were trying to get revenue back then, there was 2 members of this board who voted no. So this is a fact, it's here, it's public record. I have a certified copy with me. So that's part of this article that I read today, which is totally wrong. It's totally wrong. Another couple of things, I'll just point them out real quick. Number one, it says a 2-year contract with Porco's firm. As far as I understand, it's a 1-year contract. That could have been a typo, could have been anything, I'm not sure. Well, that's possible. I'll give you on that one. Because I haven't seen it right now. I didn't have it available today. But now, the other thing, it talks about board members trying to hire a service to the town that needed to be approved where we didn't have to go to majority vote. And if it was over $50,000 was the figure that was used. And there was a lot of controversy back then. We argued about it, but it was determined, as far as I know, by several agencies, by several attorneys, that we did not have to go out for a low bidder when we hired those attorney fees. So there's a lot of things in this article. I could go on, but apparently it was written after our agenda board meeting. It's just not correct. So hopefully everybody will know that when they read this, it's on record, and I'm going to put it on record the fact that I disagree with a lot of what's written here, and most of it can be explained properly, and for that reason I wanted to bring this up tonight. So if somebody else wants to comment on it, I'm sure they will, but that's what I had to say under miscellaneous committee discussion items.
Well, as far as the ALS money, in the year 2009, the REMS brought us a record of how much the ALS money was. And it was a total, I can't give you the exact number, of $39,000. So if you're looking to get $100,000 from something, I don't know where they're going to get it from, unless you go out there and start running people over. So they have a lot more work to do. But $39,000 was for 2009. board did pass, anything over $50,000 will be bid on. And I think we should leave it that way.
Mr. Calder did not vote on that, just for the record.
I wasn't-
Right, he was not there at
He
the
was not a
time,
board member then.
but it's still what we voted on, what is law, and it's what we're gonna live by, unless you wanna change that. Then you can bring it up and vote for it again if you wish to. But I don't think you're gonna get $100,000 from ALS. And as far as the contract, I think I received it less than 2 weeks ago. And there were things in it that I didn't like. And Stephanie and I, you don't mind if I call you Stephanie,
Of course not.
spent 2 hours on it before the meeting, am I correct?
Correct.
And I told her the things I didn't like in it. And we're gonna rewrite that contract, give it to the board. I know Bob had a couple things he didn't like. I lost the paper, I'm sorry about that. And we looked for it to judge that, and I said that after the meeting, Stephanie would talk to Bob and find out what they were that he didn't like. When this contract is going to be done tomorrow, email to everybody, am I correct? Tomorrow, everybody will see this contract.
As long as I have Bob's changes, yes,
Right,
I do.
okay. And then what changes you want to make, and REMS will get the same contract and see what they want to do about it from there. And also, I think we should negotiate the 2009 $39,000 debt to the town. And we need to negotiate that also. So I think this should all be taken care of in the next couple of days, I believe.
First, can I say
And-
something?
I'm sorry?
Are you done yet? Were you done talking? I'm sorry. No, finish. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Anyway, this will be done in the next couple of days, and then the only way we can, I will call each member and see how they feel about it, and if they got any questions that we think we have to get together on it again, we'll do that. But yes, let's get this thing out of the way. There were 2 things we spoke about tonight before the meeting, and that was Time Warner and the REMS contract and the debt owed to the town. And we spent a little over 2 hours on it, and I think we made some great progress, and now we'll present it to you and see how you like it.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not too happy with this. First of all, you said $39,000. We've had REMS in here, we've had Mohawk in here. They have both said $100,000 to $150,000 that they will pay back to Rotterdam. It's on several of our meetings. We've had it in paper. Mr. Godlewski asked one of the guys, how much did you make? How much revenue did you take in? And his response to us on the floor, that doesn't matter. They have been pushing, and they have been pushing, and they have been pushing this, and they have been pushing that they would give us $100,000 to $150,000 in revenue. And now they're saying $39,000, and you're going to negotiate on $39,000? I want to see the $100,000 and $150,000 that REMS guaranteed. And now you're saying, well, we can negotiate. I'm $39,000. Unacceptable, Frank. And you said, oh, I don't think they're going to make any money. That man wouldn't even tell us how much money he made. And he told Mr. Godlewski in front of everyone, it doesn't matter. The only thing I can say is I'm really sorry that I could not make that meeting when we voted, because I would have said it all that night. I was on my way. But I couldn't because I was at the library presenting to a group of people on behalf of my children. But I'm going to tell you this. This 39,000, after they've been here for 2 years telling us $100 to $150,000 they'll reimburse the town. And we're gonna negotiate 39,000. It's amazing to me. And I wanna see, put their money where their mouth is. And yes, we've been trying since since January to have a contract. We even asked you to sign both contracts with them. Sign them both, let them reimburse the town. Let them reimburse the town. Maybe it's January. You guys passed REMS, I didn't, I wasn't there. They can go back 6 months and they can reestablish all their bills and they can collect those once they have a contract. I want to see the $100,000 to $150,000 that they've been saying for the past 2 years. Not a sheet saying in 2009 it was $39,000. They told us when they didn't have the tax, and I was all in favor of REMS, trust me. I was all in favor until I really got all the details. But they told us they didn't get the taxes, they were going out of business. If they didn't have the gas, they were going out of business. They're not out of business, and I can tell you $39,000 didn't save them. I want to see where the money is that they said that they can reimburse Rotterdam. And $39,000, it's ridiculous. That's all I have to say.
Well, whether you were there or not, we'd have probably voted the same way anyway. That's one reason. That doesn't make any difference whether you were there or not. The second reason is they were the lowest bidder. We put out a bid, they bid, they were the lowest bidder, they were entitled to the job. As far as what they owed the town, had nothing to do with the contract. You can't say, give us $100,000 or you're not going to get this contract.
Frank, you
And
can
if
tell
somebody wants to sell you something, a car or any job or any sort of business, it's called sales.
How many
They're
times have
gonna,
you been
excuse
telling
me,
us?
I didn't interrupt you.
I apologize.
And they could tell you anything they want to tell you, but facts are facts. I said, give me what you did in 2009. He gave me that. I said, I want to have it so we can verify it. He gave me a fact that deep. I believe I showed it to you. Have I, Nikki?
No?
No, well then I'll get it again and give it to you, and you can go through it.
Then
Right.
I'd like to ask you, how can they base, if they're saying 2009, they only collected $39,000, then how can they base their proposal to us where they kept on saying it's $100,000 to $150,000 they were going to give to us? How can they base that on $39,000? And how, we don't have the right to negotiate. First he said all the books, they couldn't do it because the books were screwed up or whatever they were. But they've been saying it from day one. You've been telling us for months that they owed us hundreds of thousands of dollars, Frank. Have you not? Have you not?
Excuse me, Nikki. Did you or did you not vote to give it to REM
No.
before there was even
No,
a
I didn't
vote
vote. I
for the
didn't vote.
public to have a vote on it?
I was all in favor of REMS
Everybody
until I
was
got all the
voting
facts.
to give that contract with them without a vote.
Yeah, no, I wanted you to
I
give,
was the one
Oh, they
with
did.
Bob.
I wanted
And
you
we
to
were
give
the only two that forced the vote.
I
We
wanted you
said
to give
they're
you
not
both of
giving
them.
it away, it's over 50,000, and you vote on it. Just like you made your own resolutions to pass the budget, your own resolution to hire Daniels and Porco, you made your own resolutions to do, move the girls back. You overrode the supervisor every time, but it didn't work. I wouldn't let you ride this gift horse to death. And this is the way it is. That's what they said they gave us. I'll give you the paperwork and you prove there's more money there and you'll get it. But I don't think you're going to get $100,000 a year from anybody. That's
And
my
maybe they shouldn't have
opinion.
been on, but then they shouldn't have come to us several times saying that's what they're gonna give us a year. Because they said based on what they collected in the past, they can say that it was at least $10,000 a month. So I'm sorry, $39,000 does not end up. But I'm going to stop this because we could fight all night about this. But that $39,000 is an amazing amount of money to me that just does not add up to what everyone has been saying the whole
Well, do
year.
you want to pay to have an audit on it? Do you want the town to have an audit and pay for it? Is that what you want to do?
No, you know what, Frank? I don't
If
believe
that's
any
the only
of
way you're
us.
gonna prove otherwise.
We're not
If you
in the-
wanna pay for it, we'll do it.
We asked you a long time ago, you said no.
Huh?
You said no a long time ago to that. I'm just based on what they're saying here. They were stood
When
up.
I wanted to have an audit and pay for it myself,
I told you
everybody
to have
kept
an audit.
running to me and said, don't do that.
No, I told you to.
Let's not do that. Let's just give it to REMS.
No, I never said
They
that,
can't
Frank.
survive without that. They've been here 100 years. Don't cut them down. They're surviving, they're doing well. I'm happy for them. I can't argue that it's whether they owe 39 or 139,000. Unless you say, we're gonna send an accountant in or an audit in and have it done, it's 39,000. Any other way you wanna do it, make the suggestions and I'll join you.
Can we move on with the agenda now? Please.